Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. Welcome in to the IGLeague GT3 Cash Cup live from Road Atlanta. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by the mighty Dean Biggles very, very shortly. But let's give you a rundown of the circuit. Road Atlanta, the FIA Grade 2 circuit, broke ground in 1969, opened on September 13th, 1970. We're currently here at the Grand Prix course, 2.54 miles, 4.088 kilometers, 12 turns, and a track record of a 107.056 set by Christian Klein in a Peugeot 908 HDI FAP 2008 LMP1 car. 3 configurations, 2 are still active at the moment. That's the motorcycle course and the Grand Prix circuit. Major events it currently holds is the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the Motor America Trans Am Series, and has formerly held the FR Americas as well. NASCAR Infinity Can-Am Road Atlanta Can-Am Series and the Star Mazda. And tonight it holds the GT3s in iRacing, and what an absolutely barnstorming event we have got for you this evening. $100 prize pool. First place gets $60, second place gets $30, third place gets $10. On an open setup GT3 at Road Atlanta. Sessions this evening is a 30-minute practice, 10-minute qualifying, 45-minute race with 50% race fuel and 1 mandatory pit stop. So if you are here in YouTube chat, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells, and give the video a big old thumbs up. If you are here in Twitch, don't forget to follow as well. And also, guys, if you're running your Twitch Prime sub and you don't know where to give it to, hit it on the IGLeague Twitch channel as well and get yourselves involved with this absolutely incredible community. It's going to be absolutely amazing this evening as well. First ever race here for the IGLeague within iRacing and the Cash Cup. So it will be, you know, a grower, I think is the terminology that we are looking for, because it's going to be absolutely amazing. Welcome into chat if you are here as well. But I feel it's time to bring the mighty Dean Biggles into the commentary booth. Good evening for the second time this evening, Mr. Biggles. How you getting on?
That was good. Flight back from Suzuka all the way over here to back to the United States of America. It's been good. Hope you had the chicken or the beef or the kangaroo or whatever was on the menu, mate. But I'll tell you what's going to be on the menu tonight. A showdown between Porsches, between BMWs, Ferraris, Audis, McLarens, and whatever anybody wants to use in, of course, an open setup. So you got it. Providing those setups in these beasts, you could be making your way around this lap quicker than anybody else.
Absolutely. And I think, to be honest, to be the season opener at Road Atlanta as well, of all courses, I think we're going to be in for an absolute barnstorming race. Now, we have got 15 seconds left of the practice session before we go into qualifying, and then we're going to be going live straight away. And I think you are going to be in for an absolute treat of a race. Yes, we only have 11 cars on track, but them 11 are the best of the best and the fastest of the fastest here in the GT3 League. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, because you're not going to want to miss any of this action. We're going into qualifying very, very shortly, and then we'll be hitting it up for the race. Now, what are we, what are we expecting here tonight, Biggles? Because at the end of the day, cash is on the line. Everybody gets a little bit excited when there's money available, and, what do we think is going to happen within this series tonight?
An old-fashioned showdown in the United States of America. That's what you're going to see. As for, we don't know. It's a first of many, as you said. These are unfamiliar names. Well, we do know, of course, is their iRating. That's just something that the game, of course, a simulator, my apologies, will judge you on. But when push comes to shove, mate. No, I didn't. I beat that one out. My apologies out there. Definitely not a game.
Don't jump all over Mr. Biggles, guys. He, slip of the tongue. Yes. But he did call it a game, and well,
don't clip that one at all. Get me in trouble with the community, of course, with the sim racing community.
Oh,
because I'm all for iRacing. Yeah,
they're going to be after you, young sir. But we are here with Daniel Sedgley as well, the only UK driver in this series currently at the moment. Now, one of the interesting things about Mr. Sedgley is I've known him from another series that we do. Every league that he has been in this season, he won. One of the leagues he didn't win was the most recent one for the Radical SR10, and unfortunately for Mr. Sedgley, he finished runner-up there. Sven-Young Matheson that took the victory, and it was absolutely incredible. You can go and watch that back on the JPB YouTube channel. So it's absolutely unbelievable, but just enjoy this, because I think it's a different kind of concept to what we've seen. It's not a league, it's not a, anything like that. It's just a straight, flat-out sprint, Biggles. Winner takes all, and you got to be in it to win it, and these guys are in it to win it, and I think that's going to be one of the interesting things tonight about this series.
And you're exactly right. And did you say this? I mean, this used to be Grand Prix circuit. What Grand Prix circuit this used to be? I mean, Watkins Glen used to be one of the calendar for the Formula One, but it's a Grand Prix, of course, any kind of Grand Prix, GT3 Grand Prix.
No, this was never the F1 Grand Prix circuit. It held the FR Americas and the NASCAR Infinity. It never held the Grand Prix. Watkins Glen was one of them. So, there we go. We're going to have to just see what happens, because at the moment, it doesn't hold the F1, and I don't think it's likely to, which is a shame, really, because I'd love to see him try and go around turn 2 and 3 at the top of the hill in a W12. I think that's going to be the be-all and end-all, and that could really lead to some interesting things here regarding this circuit in the W12.
I'm not quite sure you really want to try that, of course. It's that grade. But all we got to see, guaranteed, the GT3 is going around as quickly as you can make your way. Soon, no doubt, Mr. James, you can give us a bit of a hot lap guide around this track as if you were driving. You are a race driver as well.
Yeah, so we're on board with Daniel Sedgley, full gear, round turn 1. As we start going up the hill, we're going to point it out the tree, onto the brakes, down into third, round turn 2, round the sharp turn 3, and then we're going to be running off down 4, down through the Essex. You want to get it hooked up early. We'll get the gas on as well, and then you come into the tricky turn 5. Don't run too wide on the exit curb, because you will bounce the curb. Now, the thing is with Daniel Sedgley, he's in a BMW, and the BMW literally eats the curbs as if they're not even there as you're coming into 6 and 7. Now the right-handers down again, second gear will go on his exit before he'll start punching the gas. He's purple across sectors 1 and 2 at the moment, and then we've got this long run down this back straight that is basically just flat out all the way. There's no stopping this at all. It's just running up through the gears as he's coming up over the hill. Now he's going to be looking just on the right hand side about now. He's going to be on the brakes and down into second gear, down through turn. Well, they call it 10 and 10A, and this is 11, and then we'll go up through 12. And then we've got 12A at the base of the hill here before we go along the start, finish straight. And that was a lap of Road Atlanta. And at the moment, Daniel Sedgley is in pole on a 1:18.79. Well, he's definitely quick, isn't he? He's not shy about his speed, is old Mr. Sedgley.
No, it's quick, all right. So the first benchmark time of the day by about a second and change quicker than everybody else, which is quite a bit of time. You'd have to say for a relatively short track.
Yeah, he's just, unfortunately, he's just naturally quick. You know, Sedgley is just so fast. And I've seen him in a couple of series, and he's just been quick all season. So he's really hooked his driving up this season, I think.
See everybody else can hook up their driving with about 4 minutes and change of our open qualifying session. People returning back to the pit lane, of course, make some tweaks. They get a park firme and then get ready for some motor racing.
Yeah, we're on board with Adam Wack here as well. He's in the Ferrari. Currently green, obviously, on his first lap. Here we go, running down he goes. Let's see what he can do across the line. Goes into 6th place on a 1:21.789. So let's see how that one pans out as well for him, because I think he's got to go quicker to catch Mr. Daniel Sedgley here tonight. And I think most of these are going to have to really kind of up their game, I think, as well, because if they don't, you know, Sedgley's going to be away with it. So they've got to do what they've got to do and get quicker, I think, is the only terminology that I can find for you all. Otherwise, Sedgley will run away with it, and it's going to be done and dusted. But let's see how this one happens, see how it pans out. You never know, we might be able to get some great racing in if anything does happen. So let's see how we get on and go from there. Right. Adam Watt here. Fastest in sector 3 is going green on himself. Ryan O'Connor is another one, I know from a previous series. There we go.
Cool, running off track a little bit. One of the drivers into the fence. That's Daniel. Daniel pushed it a little bit too far, but he can push it a little bit too far because no doubt he has still his lead, of course, for the fastest lap at the moment is down to about 0.8 now. They're starting to slice away at it, and then he'll have to go back to pit lane, get back out again, and try and defend that pole position currently at the moment.
Yeah, let's see how he gets on. He is 1:18.793, 7 tenths faster than Darren Rutherford at the moment. Rutherford, sorry, over Clayton Davis, Dylan Godaz, Ben Barnes, Ryan O'Connor, Adam Wack, Matthew Wyckoff, James Rep, Matthew Wild, and Nicholas Torres. So he rounds out the last of the cars this evening as well. Oh, as we see a big slider there, that'll be an interesting one. We go on board with Matthew Wild here, currently in the BMW, no time set currently at the moment. Let's see how he gets on. Ryan O'Connor is going green in sector 1. He's setting his fastest lap times in the big Gruffalo Mercedes, and he should be good to go. So hopefully let's see what Ryan Connor can do.
On board with Ryan Connor, currently at the moment 4th gear, and up into 5th gear right now. Give or take, and try to push this car as much as he can. There's the Mercedes. A little bit of a kink to the right. Get ready to spot your braking point as you go downhill. It's going to be tricky here, isn't it? What's he going to break it down to about 2nd? Yes, he will. Slice it over to the left. Get on the power. To the right. Use as much of the track as possible. Underneath the bridge. And then back down the hill. And sliding. The rear end sliding. You can probably hear it and feel it. And make your way around. Back straight. Feels good, the sensation of speed inside these brilliant GT3 cars.
Yeah, he's currently sitting in 6th place. Clayton Davis is another man who's improved in sector 2. Nothing in 3. No improvements. So I have to see how Clayton gets on. See what he does as he goes across the line. 1:19.569. So 1:19 there. That's his fastest time from Clayton Davison. We've still got Daniel Sedgley in pole position with 22 seconds remaining.
Can anybody not dethrone the British driver? Here in the Americas, under the British flag, he's driving under. But all the rest of the drivers from the United States and Canada.
So Ayrton Smith, how many entries we have got? 11 on track at the moment, but it is the first race, so they're building up the series as it goes along. You're more than welcome to get yourselves involved if you wish, and you can come and join in and see how you get on. Discord links are down below, so if you want to get involved, you can come and join us and have a go. I need sleep. This was a silly idea. I need to be up for work in 5 hours, says Daniel Sedgley. Well, it's a bit late for that, isn't it? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, who needs sleep? Sleep later.
Yeah. You got pole position, Dan. Don't give up. You can do it. $60 coming your way as long as you keep it on track and see how you get on. You know what I mean? Right. Waiting for the results to come up on for me to give you the grid, and then we'll be into the race. So stay tuned, guys, because it's going to get spicy, and hopefully we'll have 11 cars rushing around Road Atlanta and then going from there. I think it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to this. I think for a first-time run as well of this league from the IG League as well, I think, you know, going to get more and more spicy as the time goes on. But Dan, you'll be all right. Suck it up, get some coffee. Do what I've done. Right. Checkered flag is waving.
I might be a little bit delayed in watching that one. So, yeah, you have to call the shots on that much as you can, mate.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. No worries at all. Well,
book's been thrown at me with a whole bunch of technical stuff today, but we'll sort it out.
See how we get on. Waiting for the session to move forward into the next. There we go. Here is the grid. Daniel Sedgley is in first place. Darren Rutherford is second. Clayton Davis third. Dylan Gonaz fourth. Ben Barnes fifth. Ryan O'Connor 6th, Adam Watt 7th, Matthew Wyckoff 8th, Matthew Wild 9th, James Rep 10th, and Nicholas Torres is in 11th place. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, sit back and enjoy, because this is going to be absolutely amazing. So we do have the pace car on track currently at the moment. That goes around this wonderful circuit, and I think it's going to be a good one. So hopefully we won't have any major incidents. I've got an energy drink. It should keep me going for an hour, I hope. Well, I'm sure you'll be all right, mate. Racer Murray, well, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. Sorry, had to do it.
We will be going racing very shortly.
Right. He sits patiently and wait for James Rep and Nicholas Torres to get onto the grid. They're not going to have long here. I'm hoping they're not going to miss the start, because that will be a trouble. Nice tribute to DW. I'm sure I'm supposed to know who that is, Biggles. DW?
No, I'm not quite sure. DW.
No, I'm not quite sure either. Racer Murray, you have to let me know who DW is. I'm not entirely sure on that one. Right. Well, a couple of them may have just missed the start here, and this could be an interesting one. Hopefully they haven't lost connection, because otherwise we're going to be down a few drivers here. Seeing if they're not in the pit lane currently at the moment. So let's hope they can reconnect there. We're going to Darrell Waltrip. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go. Oh, yes. Do you know where I got that from, actually, Mason Murray, right? I got it actually out of Lightning McQueen. Because he turns out, doesn't he? Darrell Cartrip. Says it in that car. Darrell Cartrip says it in Lightning McQueen.
I believe so.
Yeah, he does. He goes, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boy. His best American accent. Obviously, that was quite poor from me. I'm not American. I can't really do an American accent. So, you know, there we go.
Obviously.
I'll tell you what, just for you, Darrell Cartrip was voiced by Darrell Waltrip. Well, there you go. Did he bring it back the other day, if I'm not mistaken? I'm sure I saw a clip somewhere of that coming back the other day. So, Rutherford will win. Seen it before, I'll see it again. Yeah, but you haven't seen Daniel Sedgley race, Griff, and I'm a bit worried that you're underestimating the man from the UK here, because he's won every series he's been in this season apart from one. So, yeah. Right. They are.
Should get ready to go, mate, now.
Yeah, they are coming down, mate. Down the corner that they do label as a turn. Really annoying, considering it's not actually a turn. That's turn 9, apparently they're going. Down now. So, since I've lost 2 drivers on there. Right. Just for you, Racer, you're ready for this. You've got to be ready, because otherwise it's not going to be done the same. All right? So be ready. As the drivers come round turn 12. Here we go. Sedgley has bolted. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. And then it's Daniel Sedgley in the BMW, leading the way down into turn 1. Darren Rutherford behind him. Clayton Davis behind that. Dylan Goners, Ben Barnes, Ryan O'Connor, Adam Wack, Matthew Wyckoff, Matty Wild, Matthew Wild behind that as these guys go up into turn 3, down through turn 4 for the first time. Everybody's away cleanly at the moment, Biggles, and it's Sedgley leading the way.
Yep, good start. That's exactly what you know to do. About a 1 second gap there. Getting the job done early, get up the road there, and making it very, very difficult for anybody else to catch him down. And he's even pulled up a little bit more of a gap there, so good on you. Further back in the field, a little bit of an exchange going on, I think, between P8 and P9 as well, too. It looks like Matthew Wild makes his way over the other Matthew up into P8.
Matthew Wild and Matthew Wyckoff as they go round turn 7. On this run down that long back straight at the moment, we're going to see times dropping on the left-hand side here. Clayton Davis is another one who's going to be trying picking up the toe from Darren Rutherford in front of him. Dylan Goners is tucked up right behind him. Nothing doing there at the moment. We've got BMW, Lamborghini, Mercedes, Ferraris, and, well, I was hoping we were going to have a McLaren, but it doesn't look like we have. Got the McLaren this evening of Nicolas Torres, but we're underway, 43 minutes on the clock. Just coming now on to the start of lap 2, and it's Daniel Sedgley by 1.4 seconds already out in front. You know, what are they going to have to do here? Because clearly, Sedgley in the BMW has got this track marked, didn't he, really? And he's just getting the job done straight away.
Yeah, he's already got that domination for him. But then again, mistakes can be made. Pit stops inevitable. It's all about just controlling that pace. Oh, spin in the background. And was that Ryan?
Ryan
it was.
Straight round there. Unfortunately for Ryan, that was not great. Hopefully he'll be able to get that big gruffing Mercedes underway, because otherwise he's going to be struggling on what to do on that car. He's had to jump straight to the pits. Let's have a look and see. Oh, turn 5.
Oh. Nasty hit.
Turn 5 there, causing the problem for Ryan O'Connor. Dylan Goners hasn't got a problem now of Ryan O'Connor. He's trying to trace down Clayton Davis here in front of him at the moment, and he's not that far away. He's about half a second at the moment. But there is O'Connor in the pits as specified on the bottom of your screen. And it looks like O'Connor may be out of the session already early on, and he is. And we're down to 8 cars in this 42-minute race here, because it's a tough one already, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, the guys are that IGLeague, we knew it was going to be tough. We brought it in about a week's notice, went out, did the whole publicising thing and hopefully and everything else to try and get people in, and your necessary posts on all the other forums and Discord. So if you do want to get involved, guys, please hit us up in the Discord. Come and join in and come and get yourselves involved here. And you too could be racing here with Adam Walker and Matthew Wild here around turn 6 as the BMW of Matthew Wild just drives around the outside like it didn't even exist there. And is gone already. Clayton Davis is another one further up. He's being chased down by Dylan Gonaz. And at the moment, it's essentially Rutherford and Davis are your 1, 2, 3. So they will be the prize pool winners. 60 for first, 30 for second, and 10 for third place. Which, in hindsight, Biggles, is not a bad return, is it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be in it to win it, too. You still got to finish. There's 3 retirements already. Two drivers did not start, unfortunately. The one retirement from Connor hitting the fence. Actually, sorry, my apologies. The fence hit him. But the battle currently brewing on track at the moment is between Dylan and Clayton in P3. Dylan in P4 and the Canadian driver versus the USA. You got a little twitchy coming out of the corner too, didn't Dylan? Yeah. BMW.
Yeah. Dylan's BMW decided that it was going to go and try, and the back end wanted to join the front. And Dylan managed to hold it under control, which was always good. But trust me, I bet that was a Code Brown moment going on inside the BMW, I've got to be honest. Because otherwise that could have been another Ryan O'Connor incident where he would have snapped out and gone into the wall and that run down through into 5. Which, to be honest, is the hardest corner anyway on this circuit. You know, because of that off-camber left-hander where you go and strike a curb and it's just game over, as Ryan O'Connor found out.
Yeah, but you got to remember it's endurance, a little bit of endurance race because 40 minutes to go. You've about 5 minutes done already. That concentration level has to be through the roof. You make that little snap of an oversteer, a snap of brake, and then once again you are in the fence. So you got to take it easy, but at the same time you're trying to battle the other drivers. You're trying to make sure they don't get too far up the road, which is exactly what Daniel's doing, because he's got a 4-second gap. It's the rest of the field here trying to keep everybody else honest, because that battle at the moment you can see for P2. That's brewing is right there, and of course some cash up for grabs, and hey, cash is cash. It's good.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the interesting thing here, as with Clayton Davis in 3rd place, with Dylan Gonaz behind him. Rutherford's up the road in the Lamborghini. There he is, as you can see there. What are these guys going to have to do though? Because in hindsight, you know, they've got to firstly keep it on track, right? Because if they don't keep it on track, then it's game over before they've even gone anywhere. But they've got to try and look at what's in front of them, right? Rutherford's now 2nd up the road from Gonaz. If Gonaz and Davis are going to constantly fight, they're not going to go forward. So would you stop the fighting to try and catch the car in front?
Yeah. That's the easiest said than done for race drivers. You gotta, I mean, Dylan's going for it here. He's trying to find the gap. He's trying to find a place to get the overtake done. Still, you know, you got Darren, Rutherford. It's just up the road that they can see, and that's the Lamborghini. The rest of the BMW field, and a couple of Ferraris, P7 and 8. And that's it. So it's BMW, Ferrari, and Lamborghini. But of course, they're evenly matched to these cars, aren't they? The BMWs. It's just coming on down now to the setups that they like to use, and of course, your driving style.
Yeah, there was that recent release of the balance of the performance from iRacing for the GT3s and LMP2s. You can see it here now. Gonaz has got close enough. He's going to have a go. Is he going to be able to go? He's not at the moment. And unfortunately for him, he's going to have to sit behind Clayton Davis again until he can get close enough down that back straight. He's veered out. He's let him know he's there. He's poked his nose out. One BMW to another. I don't know how they're going to be able to do this. I've got to, you want to see Gomez do it, but you also want to see them close up. And you got Ben Barnes coming up at a rate of knots.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Benny, if you could spot him, camouflaged, BMW in the background there. He's trying to use that Red Bull camo that they used during the preseason testings before in the past, haven't they? So you can't spot all the gizmos and stuff like that, all the attachments and but you can see that BMW. He's definitely caught that party. So at this point, as Dylan, got to get past here. You can't be held up too long.
Yeah, I think he's going to just have to, in a polite way, kind of staffing it or not really, because he's going to have to do something, because he's got Ben Barnes closing right up behind him currently at the moment as well, and he doesn't want to get dragged into this battle. He just needs to clear Clayton Davis and then make his way onto the back of Darren Rutherford. As you can see down the road, there's Daniel Sedgley at the top part of your picture. He's already dropped down the hill and is running around 5, coming down into 6 now. He is absolutely flying here at the moment. We have lost a few cars earlier on. Ryan O'Connor just put the car straight into the wall, but it's going to be Gomez making a move on the inside of 6. Is Davis going to be able to come back on that run down through 8 and 9 down into 10A, 10B, Biggles? That's going to be the question.
He's going to want to have to, because Ben Barnes is lurking in the background. So if he doesn't do something soon, somebody's going to do something. That's for guaranteed. You guys out there, well, you can see at the moment there, Daniel is a bit of a... Here we go. He's going to make a run. It's bold and brave if you're going to go through here, mate. But they're going to give it an attempt. Here we go. Hold on tight. Close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. None of those speeds.
I think anybody trying to go too wide in that sector was just incredibly brave. I've got to be honest. That, they must have made buttons of steel at that point, clenching them together to try and make sure they didn't hit each other, because otherwise it would have been game over for them as well. And that's taking each other out of 3rd and 4th, respectively, with Ben Barnes, who would have picked up a couple of freebies as they come round turn 1 up the hill now, going round 2 into the chicane of 3. There wasn't much room there for Davis. Unfortunately, he dropped back, and now he's lost a bit of time to Gomez, and has now got himself into the battle with Ben Barnes, which is never good, because it's going to be now a three-way fight for the last playing position here tonight.
James, that's why they say you got to risk it for the biscuit. You've got to try to send an overtake attempt up there, but you've got to scrub off some speed. You're going to be off the racing line, compromising your entry and exit. So if you do it, you have to risk it. And if it doesn't quite work out, then you've got to build yourself back up to do it again. And it takes a bit of time. It takes a couple of laps. So you got to time it right. Now he's okay. If first you don't succeed, try again. Well, he has to get on with it soon, because once again, Ben's going to be sizing him up more than anything. And he's got mirrors full, doesn't he? Forwards and backwards right now, if you're Mr. Clayton Davis, the number 5 car we're watching.
Yeah, the worst thing for Clayton, though, is he doesn't want to mirror drive that car. If he mirror drives that car and spending more time looking back at Barnes, you're going to see Gomez just go. And Gomez will leave him there and turn around and say, well, look, this is the situation. I'm quicker. I've got past you. I'm now going to go. You want to look in your mirrors at Barnes, that's entirely up to you. But from Davis's point of view, he's got to be going forward. They're coming around 3, dropping down the left-hander now before they go on that run through the S's down into 5, which is that tricky off-camber right-hander. Can't see a lot. You've got to point your car, hope for the best, and then hold that car on the outside before you go running again down into 6 and 7 here, Biggles. And it's important for Davis to look forward. He has to be looking forward.
Yeah, I've always said this before. If I was an engineering driver, snap the mirrors off. They don't exist. And unplug the camera in the internal camera that they have in the cars that look over the rear. Just focus forward. I wonder if that Dylan Gomez is the Dylan Gomez that I know from another racing league. Probably. Yes. We cast a lot of motor racing around the world, and you start to see some familiar names, familiar driving.
Is normally in a W12?
That's right, he was, yeah.
Yeah.
So man's capable of driving many four-wheel machines around tracks. It's good to see.
It's good to see. I think it's interesting to see the BMW, because it is the same. Yeah, says Racer Murray in chat as well. So yeah, LSRL, the F1 league. I think it's interesting to see with the car choice. So the BOP come out and people were deciding what car is going to be strong, but clearly if a man of the pace of Daniel Sedgley is in a BMW, the next time I go into a GT3 race, I'm picking the BMW because he's told me, does it make me as quick as him? Oh no, that's why I sit in the booth. I can't drive for toffee. But, you know, we give it a go and see how we get on. But definitely, out of the BOP of all of it, the BMW's definitely come out the strongest car at the moment.
Well, don't tell Darren Parfitt that. The Lamborghini. Oh, here we go. Opportunity for Ben Barnes has been sitting back here patiently, waiting for an opportunity to pounce.
Yeah, but they've got to go through 10A, 10B down at the bottom of the hill side by side, and that's never easy. Barnes will have the exit on the outside, but he's going to have the inside for the next part. But it's whether or not how clean they're going to be able to keep this going too wide into that chicane at the moment. It's 1, it's 2, it's Barnesy through.
Ooh. You're a poet, you didn't even know it. Good job. He got it done. He got it done, but they're coming back, but he should be able to stick it around the outside here, hold it, hit the loud pedals loud as you can. Bit of a smile on his face, of course. He's up currently into P4. Clayton now dropping 2 places since the start of this race, but certainly still in this race of 31 minutes to go. That's the key. Got to be in it to win it.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. So timing that one perfect. Daniel's still up the road there by about 9 seconds and change. Looking pretty comfortable, but once again, it only takes one little moment. You know, kids running into the room saying, you know, Dad, I need something for something, and then distracting you halfway through a race. Anything can happen.
Being that he's in the UK and being that it's 2 o'clock in the morning over here, if he's got kids running in his room, he definitely has got a problem that he needs to go and deal with. Because I tell you what, if my kids were coming down now at 2 in the morning, I'll be like, is there an issue? Go back to bed. Barnes is through on Davis and is now chasing down Gonaz at a rate of knots currently. See the 3 line of stern BMWs going at it. Sedgley's gap now is about 10.08 seconds. So there we go, racing Murray there. This racing is amazing. Go Ben Barnes.
Yeah, just look at this livery of Ben Barnes. I can't even focus on it because there's so much action on his livery.
There's so much going on with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Black and white.
It's mind candy.
Yeah, it's kind of making me all hallucinating, and I'm
it's a wolf. I think it's skunk or something like that. That's black and white. You could kind of see it on the side door.
They're badgers.
Yeah, badgers. Oh, well, he's a honey badger.
I don't know. No, he's American. He can't be.
Oh, he could be a honey badger.
What are they?
Daniel, found in different locations. Here you go. You can see it right now. See, that itself was probably going to be thrown off your opponents, isn't it? With that psychological livery warfare that you'd have to say.
I don't think I could be staring at that. I'd either want to let him past or...
Yeah, he's an angry badger. It says it right up the top.
Yeah, angry badger. There we go. Ben Barnes in his badger livery. So let's see how we get on now with 29 minutes. Barnes has set off on a mission. He's cleared Clayton Davis. He's tracking down Dylan Gonaz, and at the moment, Daniel Sedgley is out in front with Darren Rutherford there going through turn 10A and 10B. Davis looks like he's pulled some time back on him there, Biggles. I think that's going to be the interesting thing here. What is Davis going to be able to do?
Got to be able to think about pit stop strategies and all sorts of jazz soon, more than anything. I'm not quite sure. Engineering what you would do at this point. There's still plenty of time to go on the race, of course. 30 minutes. Going to be thinking about that. How about tyres? How about fuel? What was that going through there? I'm not a GT3 driver. You are?
Well,
everybody out there in the chat?
I think the interesting thing is how long they're going to run for. You know what I mean? If it's going to completely run out the tank or if they're going to try something different. Whether or not they try something different is really up to them. And I think if they're going to try the undercut or whatever he's going to be looking at doing. Barnes' lap time 1:19.89. Gonaz on the last lap time is a 1:19.6. So at the moment, Gonaz does look like he's a little bit faster, but not by much really. See the times on the bottom of your screen. Barnes there on a 1:20.162 pulled out. Well, 0.014 over Gonaz. So not a massive gain, but at least something's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's concentration time right now. You're racing against the clock, but you're also racing against other drivers.
Yeah, Gonaz
And,
8 tenths at one timeout. Oh,
check out Clayton. Clayton! Contact between Clayton and Ben. And it said Ben spinning.
Oh, man. That was not what Ben Barnes needed. That car is chuffed. Look at the front right wheel. Not going where it needs to be. Yeah, he's turning right, but I can guarantee he's not sitting pretty in that car at the moment. For Ben Barnes, that is going to be one twitchy BMW. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, he's got to be looking at either getting it back to the pits.
Well, you got the one pit stop to take anyway, so you have to be thinking about doing it now. Repairs, fast repairs, just to confirm to everybody, is there a fast repair available or not?
Don't think there is in this. I think the nature up there doesn't have it.
Yeah, you might be very all right, because after Ryan binned it into the fence earlier, if he had the fast repair, he didn't hang around. If he had a fast repair, but because that early into a race, we'd want to get back out there and give it a shot, because, yeah, you can see some accidents can occur. Yeah,
I think that's
always.
Just the thing. The poor Ben Barnes there was doing so well. No fast repairs. Didn't think there was, Conway.
Yeah, that's the reason why they are retiring, because it's a money tournament, of course, so it's the best of the best. You got to open setup. You would expect it to be like real racing, like, real racing means jump in the pit lane and get it all fixed immediately.
Yeah,
he stayed out.
Yeah, he stayed out, so he must feel that car's okay. It didn't look too clever once he'd been in, once we were going up and running with him again, but clearly from his point of view, it looks like it's working. I think one of the things here is this battle now, Dylan Gonaz is released. The Lion is free. He's now chasing down Darren Rutherford here tonight as well. Is this going to be second place? The gap has come down. Gonaz on a 1:19.52. Rutherford on a 1:20.65. 1.1 seconds quicker than Rutherford in front there. And, well, from his point of view, he doesn't really want to be taking hold of that one, does he, really, Biggles? Because you can see what he's pulled out over the last few laps as Gonaz.
Just a couple, just a little bit of times, nothing to really worry about too much at this point. Daniel with the massive gap, about 12 seconds. Still comfortably controlling this race. It's something that Darren really needs to pull some good flying laps in there, but the last lap there from Darren Rutherford, that's in P2, was at 19.7. Daniel did a 19.3. Just always eking a little bit away, chipping a little bit away every single lap.
They pulled out 1.1 over lap 14. I don't know if Rutherford had a problem there, but whatever his problem was, it's pulled him right into the hands of Gonaz, really. In hindsight, Gonaz can see him, and for whatever reason, no, Biggles, it's like that mentality, isn't it? You can see the guy in front, so you instantly try and drive quicker. For some reason, you can drive quicker, but you kind of sit back and think, oh, why couldn't I drive quicker when I was behind him? You know what I mean?
Some of the drivers like to be kind of a lonely race on circuit that way. They just battle the clock, battle their sector times. And other drivers like that wheel-to-wheel action, like, having a car around there, the dirty air, slipstream, that jazz. It's just depending on your driving style.
I think the thing for me is not the fact that of like trying to chase the people in front, because clearly that's what we all do as racers anyway. The problem with me is when I'm in traffic, I'm still very, very cautious because of the fact that you just don't know what the other people are going to do. And down in my lonely I rating, which isn't very high, some of the driving standards really are quite questionable. And you do have to be on the edge all the single time when you're trying to make moves. And I think that's the issue with that, is I'm a little bit more cautious. But when you're trying to catch somebody as you are in Gonaz's shoes, and he's got it down to 8 tenths, mate, I'm not going to lie. Gonaz seems to be on a flyer at the moment. And I think from Rutherford's point of view, I'd be sitting in my mirrors a little bit worried here when you got Dylan Gonaz closing you down.
So we'll see that top speed. Dylan is more on the top speed for the BMW, that's the thing. 163 miles per hour, I think, from Darren, and Dylan's on 166. The BMWs have that little bit more top speed that they've set up, at least elected for their setup. And Daniel just puts in the fastest lap of the race on that last lap. Just reminding it, he's in the 18 club now, my friend, whereas everybody's in the mid-19s to 20s. That's the pace that he has. And his top speed on that one was 160 miles per hour. As Clayton goes in the pit lane.
Davis is in the pit lane. Where is he going to come out? That's going to be the question. Look at Gonaz now, just closing Rutherford, pulling him in like a man catching a sea bass, winding that Lambo in as we window wiper. That's impressive.
Oh yeah, I did. You can use them, I believe. That's right. Some of the cars are not available, but they're definitely available right now. He got rid of those bugs that got squashed on the. Because he's focusing right now, isn't he? He's like Terrorizer. You are 100% right up the rear bumper of the Lambo and wants to get past the Lambo. And I guess as they're running a little bit light on fuel, that they're also putting in these better laps at the moment because of that fact. And they'll be heading to the pit lane soon because Matthew heads in the pit lane as well. Clayton comes back out.
Go. Oh.
Yep.
That is
just
not going to help.
Bit of net code there just to throw you off a little bit. Remind you. He is there. Pretty sure Dylan as well, where he's there, can feel the dirty air from the car right above too, so that's something he'll notice in our iRacing simulation, of course.
Oh, well done you. Proud of you. I really am. I'm going to send you a Christmas card now. You got it correct.
Yeah, I'll get it after Christmas, probably the mailing system here, but yeah.
Well, we ain't got a mailing system in the UK at the moment, mate. They're all on strike, so, you know.
We got to follow him through here at the moment. Now, let's also be careful. Once you said, don't follow the car so much. Follow your own racing line. Just imagine it, that there is no car there. Do your straight in and fast out.
The thing is with this is where the Lambo can't do what the BMW can do. If you watch the Lambo on the curb, round turn 5, he literally stays off them. But look at the BMW can just swallow curbs. It reminds me of that Milky Way advert they had in the UK. I don't know if there's anybody from the UK in chat. The red car and the blue car had a race. All the blue car wanted to do was stuff his face. Oh, one move.
He's going for it. Yep, the switcheroo. Now he's going to commit to the outside racing line right now. Make it stick. Knows that the driver's there on the inside. Get on the exit speed. Hit the loud pedal as possible as you can, and that's job done there for Dylan.
He's now
that is textbook overtaking, my friend.
Mate, he set him up coming down that hill. He's been closing him out lap after lap after lap after lap. And if you can see the difference of how they're driving, I think you'd understand what the difference is. The BMW from Dylan is so much more aggressive on the curb. And I think that's going to be the interesting thing here is the Lambo cannot be that aggressive on this curb. And if we have to keep an eye on what Gonaz does through this section, takes curb where the Lambo doesn't, because he just can't. Darren Rutherford can't take curb where the Lambos can. Because if he does, he's going to be likely going off, round or spinning somewhere, and it's never going to work out. So, you know, Barnes is finally in the pits. Ben Barnes making that move into the pit.
Yeah, and they're going to have that pit stop, of course, there. So we'll see about the pit stop times have been about, if you do it pretty well, average 50 seconds for the total pit stop time. Now, no, I'm surprised that nobody uses the Porsche, my friend, because the Porsche is the one that is very great through the cornering.
Yeah, but they come into this new balance of performance, didn't they?
And leaders in as well.
Yeah,
sorry.
Daniel Sedgley is in. And they were going out into like how he got, you know, how the BOP was going to work. Gonaz is coming in, Rutherford's covering him off. That is your top three. I'm expecting Clayton Davis. He's a long way back. I don't think he's going to be able to get anywhere near these guys in the pit lane currently to make a difference. He is sitting in fourth place. He is only coming round turn 7 before he goes on that run down at 8. So unless they're going to be in there for about the next 35 seconds, which isn't going to happen, he's not going to be able to catch him as Clayton Davis. I think, well, job done, I'm afraid, son. I think you're coming back out where you went in fourth place. So,
Daniel Sedgley just in and out pretty easy, resuming the lead of that race. Yeah, you can see that the 4 dot on the map not enough. The other guys will be exiting the pit lane right now. They're both out. You can see the 2 and the 3. And still plenty of distance there. And look at the gap to the P1. There's still basically a sector at the moment. Almost a sector in the lead. Daniel is. So a lot to catch up in about 17 minutes to go.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be essentially victory. I debate whether or not it's going to be anything different. I've got to be honest with you, and I've got a funny feeling Gonaz now may just put the hammer down and start getting away from Rutherford behind him. Now, I know we've got some Rutherford fans in chat, but I think looking at the bigger picture at the moment, I think it's going to be a Gonaz in second, Rutherford third. But I won't write it down just yet, because every time I do that, something happens. So, since the new BOP, the Porsche here is really sketchy, says Conway in the chat. So, there we go.
You just got to adjust to the changes, I'd say.
Yeah, but
a little bit of practice.
Driving an ice skate when you can drive a car wheel, you know what I mean? You get what I mean. Like, you don't want to be driving something that's slipping and sliding. Well, I do on an ice skate anyway. I literally fall most of the time on my butt. But from these guys' point of view, they're going into this with a purpose. And that purpose is to try and win it. And at the end of the day, the last thing they want to be doing is sitting on an ice skate. Yeah,
true. But I'm loyal. I'd be in my Nissan Skyline. I'm just loyal. Whether it perhaps is not balanced perfectly with the new updates or not, I'm still a loyal man.
Yeah, well,
and I'll commit to it. I'm going to buy Sebastian Vettel Special Edition GTR Skyline, and he's only done about 10K.
Yeah. The only one in the Skyline, because they're not in
That's fine. I'm still sticking to it. It's my car, and I'll make it work, and I'll tune it as best to my ability. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to use those tools at disposal that'll be the easiest and quickest to get you the results. And that's currently definitely the BMW of choice. And it's only Darren, of course, in the Lambo that's splitting that BMW domination, top 6.
He can't. That's the problem for Rutherford. He just cannot take what the curbs are on the BMW. And I think that's his problem. Can't take a lot of the cars. We'll ride on board with him. You'll see him trying to avoid them as best he can. They'll take some of the shallower curves like that one, but going through turn 5, he doesn't even touch them. And as Conway said in chat, the BMW is a tank. It is your most preferred car. And if you watch it from Rutherford, he just can't ride the BMW curves. He's got to stay off them. Doesn't touch it again.
I know.
Doesn't touch it again.
But if you're gonna go pick up a lady for a date, mate, would you like to pick her up in the Lamborghini or in the BMW? I think you would might get a few more rubbernecking the Lamborghini for looks, but yeah, absolutely, you can see the handling struggling for sure. But still, putting the car in the right direction, gaining in certain parts, and losing through the other. Cornering seems to be the one that's punishing a little bit.
Yeah, in hindsight, it's like anything in it, right? You would take the Lambo out. If you're going on a date and you're going to go and, you know, as you say, pick up a lady or whatever, man, dog, woman, horse, I don't care, whatever you're going to go pick up, you would do it in a Lambo, right? Because if you just listen to the noise.
I know, let's listen to it actually right now. That's Def Netty there says, Netty, let's have a listen.
Then we go into the PM.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, it's BM's more like that practical road car that you can kind of afford. Obviously, the M2s and the M5s and stuff like that if you've got a bit of cash up your sleeve. But Lamborghini is a sports car, but overall performance, as you mentioned, the BMW is certainly just the beast. It can be tamed on the track here at Road Atlanta, of course, for our first race. Cash Cup.
Yeah, Conway's pointed out that you couldn't pick a horse up in a Lambo.
Yeah, there's no back seats, mate. Not much room back there, of course. So, sorry, James, mate. To take the kids to school and stuff like that, you might have to as a family van instead of the Lamborghini you got parked in your garage.
Oh, I wish there was a Lambo in my garage. There unfortunately is a family van in my garage at this moment in time. And that's even the fact that I don't even have a garage. It sits out in front of my house. But look, at the end of the day, you know, we haven't really...
He's about to get past this. He's about to
he's
slice past a Ferrari as well to our race leader. Let's have a listen to the Ferrari, actually, that was just overtaken, because we had two of them in there, and that's Adam. And I want to listen to the Ferrari, because we know the Ferrari sounds sweet.
The one I would have liked to see carried on would have been the Merc. The Merc Gruff is just unbelievable.
No Aston Martins as well, which I'm surprised. They're a bit of a beast. So one Audi didn't start the race, and McLaren didn't start the race. But they...
Yeah, well, you won't find an Aston Martin in a GT3 in iRacing. GT4, most definitely. Not in a GT3.
Would you prefer the Ferrari or the Lambo outside of the BMW? Well, for racing, of course, probably the BMW at the moment for the esports. But for a real life car, would you go Ferrari or Lambo?
Lamborghini.
There's one for the chat too.
Let us know in the chat what you would take, Lambo or a Ferrari. I would take a Lambo. Partly because they just look mean. The Ferrari looks like something that you go and pick up your sick... Oh, get it under control there, Adam. Go and pick up your sick grandmother from the hospital with, you know what I mean? Like the good son-in-law that you are or something.
But James, mate, Ferraris are designed to take a prancing horse as a passenger, so you could pick up a horse in a Ferrari.
Yeah, but look at it. Look at the difference, you know? It just...
Each their own.
Picture just, I don't know. I wouldn't go in a Ferrari. Lamborghini. If I had my choice, I'd go for a Lamborghini Gallardo soft top. But then again, there's been some really nice models coming out of Lambo over the last few years as well.
This Lambo kind of reminds me back of the old school days of the Lotus Esprit, wasn't it? That look?
Yeah.
Because the Lotus really had a really modern look to it. That machine, that very good car, of course, for its day. That's what those kind of Lamborghinis remind me of. Ferraris have to be red, some sort of nice matte color finish on it. We'll see. Obviously, the livery pick of the day, you have to give it to Ben Barnes, right? I'd say if anybody out there want to agree with that one. The best liveries, you can pick your best liveries, of course, and the 8 drivers that we have remaining in this race.
I think out of my all-time, though, right, if I could sit back and say, if there was a car that I would like to own, and there's 2 cars in this world that if I had a choice, I would own, right? One would be a Jaguar XJ220.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Or a 69 Corvette Stingray.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
They would. If I won the lottery, that's what I would go after. Would be them 2 cars.
Miles per gallon?
Nothing. I mean, yeah. I'd need a garage following me up the road, but it wouldn't be the point. It would be the point I was sat in my Jaguar XJ220, too scared to take it out of my garage, because that's what I'd be in if I won the lottery, let's face it. And then I'd have to go out in my 69 Stingray, just looking very sexy. Now, Conway's, but I'm from America. I picked up a few whales in a pickup truck before.
Hey, there you go.
Now, whether or not that's reference to actually, 2 legs, or whether or not that's actually reference to anything else.
He's a marine biologist by trade, aren't you, there, Conway?
He works for the Sea Life Centre, or something like that. You know what I mean? Goes out and transports whales between one Sea Life Centre to another.
Yeah, but pickup trucks have that, nice pickup truck. It's got that sensation. I can get some really beefy V8s and pickup trucks too.
Mate, I've seen some drag pickups. The noise coming out of the back of a drag pickup is unbelievable. If you ever get a chance to go to a drag strip, please go and do it, because it is definitely...
Oh yeah, I did years ago at Bay Australia, of course, yeah. Blow your eardrums to pieces. A lot of fun.
Yeah, don't forget.
One of my buddies here from Ireland actually has a dragster in his bar. On the entrance, as you go into the bar hallway, there's a dragster right there.
Well, I got
it's quite interesting.
Commentating up at Santa Pod Raceway for the, up there, and it was just unbelievable. But the noise out of a dragster is just incredible. So if you ever see a pickup, Griff, really, bro? Come on, dude. Let's keep it a little bit clean.
8 minutes and change to go, of course. It's a family-friendly stream here at the moment, streaming on both channels. It's on the Twitch channel there for the IGLeague television, as well as Mr. James's network who'll be watching it on. And a couple of lap cars, as you can see currently at the moment. Our race leader, Daniel Sedgley, is shows from the United Kingdom. you said it'd be very early in the morning in the United Kingdom. But you are currently in the moment. He's still setting great laps there, 19s and low 19s. I
don't expect Daniel Sedgley to come in for an interview at the end of this. I do expect him to jump off and go straight to bed. So I think there's going to be a no-go on an interview from Mr. Sedgley, as he does have.
He could be on, working different shifts.
No, mate, he's already said he's got work at 5 in the morning.
Oh, he's got work at, so do you as well.
Yeah, but mine's not at 5. Mine's a little bit like at 9, so I could survive. Coming into
I doubt he's going to sleep right as well too, mate, because the adrenaline you'd be pumping through your veins after winning the race as well. So it's very hard to even from commentating, as you know, isn't it? After commentating some great races and stuff, it's very, very difficult just to chill yourself back down and get into a mode of taking a nap.
Mate, because due to the fact of the time, I think I'd probably end up going straight to bed. I am interested to see how low Rutherford can get this time at the moment. He seems to have all of a sudden got a second wind coming down through the S's, and he's pulled out nearly 2 tenths over that sector alone, but this is where he loses more because the BMW just hits the exit 5, and Darren Rutherford just can't do that in the Lambo. He's back out again now, unfortunately, so there we go. I thought it was going to be a little bit, I thought he was going to get it as well. Don't forget, guys, as well, the socials are up for the IGLeague in Twitch there as well, so please go and hit them up. IGLeague Esports on Twitter. Their Discord is there as well, and Instagram, IGLeague Official. So go and hit them up. And if you are interested or you do watch Twitch, please go over to IGLeague and you can go and follow their channel as well. If you are watching on the JPB, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, and give the video a big old thumbs up, because we've got some great racing covering up for you there as well. TCRs we've got coming up twice this week. We've got one tomorrow night. Then we've got a GT3 2-hour endurance Saturday, which is me and myself. No, let's try that one again, which is myself and the mighty Dean Biggles there as well, doing the endurance. And then I've got more TRCs in the evening on Saturday night. So make sure you keep up to date with all of the action there, as we are coming into the last 5 minutes of the IGLeague GT3.
Yeah, look at Dazza.
Yeah,
Daz has gained some time right now. Sorry, Darren. We call you Daz here in Australia, mate. You're a Dazzer right now on the track because you're dazzling us with that late speed burst to try to seize the P2 that's up for grabs. Right there in front of you, mate. Just reach out, snatch it if you want. That's whether or not Dylan's going to be allowing you to make it easy to steal that P2 away. Cash prizes, of course, for the top 3. Who wants it more is the question.
$30 at stake here for Dylan Gonaz and Darren Rutherford. Going to be an interesting way of seeing how they get on here. And what's... Oh, it's gone!
Oh,
Rutherford's
that's
round.
it.
It's all done. Gonaz is going to have this. The trouble for
He's got
Rutherford,
a bit of time. He's got to get back on there because Clayton is a little bit down the road, but it should be okay to be resuming the P3. Remember, still points, still money-paying position. To get back on the power there, just forget about the P2 now, but keep the car on the track and bring it home.
Yeah,
at least he gave the opportunities. Pushed, just pushed a little bit too much, didn't it, to try to seize that P2 opportunity.
Yeah, tried to drag the brake on that Lambo, and we can have a look and see. You see him come down the hill, and he'll drag the brake to try and get the Lambo stopped to turn, and just hold it a little bit long, and the back end just says, no, no, no. You're going round there, son, and unfortunately for Darren Rutherford there, he is done. So Daniel Sedgley out in front, 3:32 on the clock, 1:18 lap time, so we're going to have one at this one and one more.
Yeah, let's ride our board with Daniel, and I want to see the smooth operating driving he's been doing at the moment with his Fanatec steering wheel in the BMW. Fanatec sales have been absolutely amazing. Of course, there's a little bit of a delay in the chip factory manufacturing at the moment, so if you guys are planning on ordering some of your gear, you might expect some delays coming up soon. In the expo that they had, for the racing expo the other day, they had the panelists there from the CEOs from the major companies, and that's one of the things that they were mentioning. But the Fanatec sales have been really, really impressive. All these companies, of course, started in their garages, didn't they? Just building some esports racing equipment. Look how much it's blown up today.
nobody would expect, I mean, any form of esports racing to take off as much as it has. I think lockdown has had a massive influence on iRacing and other sims as well, because you know, without lockdown, I don't think these guys would be half of where they are at the moment.
It's true. And Fanatec, of course, are used in real cars now too. So they've gone from the esports world into the real world because their gear's so good. Apparently, drivers like it, and they like to put it in their real cars. As we're watching Daniel, just smooth operating, isn't it? Doesn't look like he's fighting this car at all. It's just, it's glued to the track like it's on rails.
Yeah, he's got this car set up so well. Okay, we're going to get another 2 in. He got round quicker than I expected him to.
Yeah, obviously open setup. So he's tuning. I mean, all the drivers will be like knocking on Daniel's door, going, "Can I borrow your setup?" Setup has to obviously be attuned to your driving as well too. You know, some drivers like a little bit of oversteer and understeer. That was something to do with the Formula 1 drivers, isn't it? When a question was asked to them, understeer or oversteer, it was about a 50-50 split on that one.
Yeah,
so you'd be surprised.
Turn, mate. I just wanted to
and that's about how you tweak it, mate. Everybody prefers a car to turn.
Well, there you go.
But how much do you prefer it to turn? Like, you want it to turn enough with the rear end slide so you can feel it slide? So you get on the power a little bit early or reduce it?
When I tell it to.
Well, just set it to autopilot, mate. You don't have to do any driving at all if you want it like that.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a Tesla. Whack it on
see if you get, yeah.
And I go from there. You know what I mean?
You're right. Think it just Daniel. Like, look at the way he's going to break it down, drops it down to second. Actually, it looked like he dropped it to neutral there for a second, but I believe that was just probably an overlay thing.
Last lap of the race for Mr. Daniel Sedgley. He is going to take the last lap, and I believe, without any real dramas, I think this is Sedgley's win, you know. I've got to be honest.
He's almost a pit stop on window, but 23 seconds. The pit stops they did with 45s.
Can't see past him, can you? Look at him. Absolutely flying.
Yeah, he was tuned in from the very get-go. Starting on pole position. Just got to give it to Dylan, of course, running in P2. There's number 6 car, the BMW, has gained 2 positions in this race, so... And he held off that little bit of pressure late there from Darren. That would have been a good showdown, wasn't it? Being probably on the last laps or so, but Darren pushed a little bit too much, and as you said, just the rear end slid out on him. But he'll still get that P3 position. That's Daniel, 29, VR Racing from the United Kingdom. We're looking forward to spraying the bubbly stuff on the champagne celebrations and probably hitting the bed soon. He has to go to work in a couple hours.
He'll go straight off. I wouldn't expect Sergio to come in for an interview. All I know is that Lambo is the fastest brown race car I've ever seen. Total dazzler. Well, yeah, he was closing on Dylan Gonaz and he made a real dent in him. But Darren Sedgley is coming through for your first ever IGLeague Cash Cup Series here. Broadcast live on the JPB YouTube channel and over at IGLeague on Twitch. And it's Darren Sedgley coming across the line. Dylan Gonaz is going to take second place, the fastest Canadian on track. And there goes Dylan across the line with Darren Rutherford, who was flying at one point, started closing the gap back up onto Dylan, and unfortunately just lost it on the way in. That is Matthew Wyckoff. He is going to come across the line as well. Clayton Davis was in with a shout at one point and unfortunately got overtaken by 2 cars and then just kind of drifted back off the field. There's another man that comes across the line in 4th place. Ben Barnes is in 5th. Ben is the long way back, currently coming into 10A and 10B. Tracy Murray, thank you so much for your kind words there.
10C as well, if you get it right out of here.
It's 11.
I know, 11. It's fine.
It's 11. There we go. That is everybody coming over and crossing the line. And let's bring you up the final results when I press the button, of course. So we've got Daniel Sedgley in 1st place, Dylan Gonaz 2nd, Darren Rutherford in 3rd, Clayton Davis 4th, Ben Barnes in 5th, Matthew Wild 6th, Adam Watt in 7th, Matthew Wyckoff 8th, Ryan O'Connor 9th, James Rep 10th, and Nicholas Torres in 11th place. So there we go. Well, okay, not, you know, it was in the inaugural race. It was the first ever one we've done. If you really want to get involved, guys, as well, please head over into the description, into the links as well. You can go and check them out in the Twitch chat as well. IGLeague Esports on Twitter, IGLeague on Discord, GG. Instagram is IGLeague Official, so you can go and get yourselves involved in that. And I think that's one of the things whenever you start an event like this, because, you know, the opening first race is always going to be somewhat, how can I put it, random, I suppose, because you're never going to really know what's going to happen.
We do know at the moment to look out for Mr. Daniel in the future races. He certainly is the man to show down. Dylan, of course, and Darren. Clayton was in the wars there. Ben Barnes was in the wars early as well. Interesting to see. BMWs definitely are the machines, the tanks per se that was out there and mentioned in the chat, which tanks usually aren't notoriously known for being fast, but obviously notoriously known for being strong and powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. There as well. Ben Barnes in chat. Don't blame Clayton for the incident with me. Ben Barnes in turn 1. It was my fault for parking on the apex. I can't remember which way round I went on that one. I'm sorry. I can't remember if I did blame anyone. But, you know, hey, that's what we're here for. This is why we do commentary. This is, you want an open opinion, expressive opinion from somebody. You've probably come to the right place, to be honest. If you watch the broadcast back and there's anything that you don't agree with, hit me up in DMs. I'm not saying I will answer, but I will try my best and give you my analogy of it as well. Obviously, after seeing thousands and thousands of hours of racing, you know, we have do kind of have a rough idea. Well, I'd like to think we have a rough idea. We know what we're talking about, but then again, we're not in the car. So what do we think going forward? You know, we're going to start looking at dates going forward for the next one here, Biggles, as well. So it's a progressive, growing event, isn't it, really?
Yes. Yeah. Once more and more people be aware of it, more and more people, just cash up for grabs, free entry, man. Why would you not want to be competing? Because there was essentially only at the end of the day 8 drivers competing in this one. So 1 out of 8 chances of getting well, more out of that, isn't it? 3 out of 8 chances of picking up some cash is pretty good odds, that you'd have to say. And all you have to do is drive that car around the track as quickly as possible within the 45 minutes and finish on the P1.
Right, we
try to chase them down.
Got some people in the interview room, believe it or not, which I didn't realise was actually right at the bottom of the Discord. So let's bring in there as well your Victor this evening. Mr. Daniel says you. Good evening, Dan.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, yeah.
Good morning, exactly. Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Absolutely knackered.
To be fair, Dan, when you cleared off down the road, mate, it was kind of job done, and it doesn't help a tired Englishman driving on a track round on his own, does it? When you're putting in 118 lap times.
Not really, but if you slow down, you're just going to make more mistakes. You're best just keeping your same pace.
Just keep going and going and going, and you definitely did go. So you are the inaugural winner of $60 this evening.
Awesome, thank you.
That's all right. I'm sure one of the admins will reach out to you and get your details on that one. You know, worth staying up for. Not a bad couple of hours work, I gotta be honest. Road Atlanta, though, I love this circuit. I think it's another great circuit on the iRacing scene as well. You clearly enjoy it.
I enjoy the track. I don't like the car.
Why was that a BM?
Yeah.
I just don't like GT3 cars. I've not driven them for about 6 months.
You look like you were driving that thing on rails, man. You were just smooth operating it. We're on board with you towards the end. So whatever it is you don't like, well, the car agrees with you.
I'm just trying to find a safe setup, to be honest.
Yeah,
Keep it consistent. Keep it on track.
Well, you definitely did that, mate, and you've come away victorious. So well done to you. I'm going to let you go to bed because if you're sitting here like me and thinking, blimey, it's 20 to 3 in the morning, get yourself off the bed, mate. You know what I mean? But well done on your first place, buddy, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Yeah. Get me four
Yeah,
and a
good
half
job.
hours sleep now.
Yeah, you go
Yep.
for it, mate. You take care.
We'll wake you up. We'll wake you up when James is revving his Lamborghini out in front of your house to pick you up to go to work. I love your helmet too, and you can barely see it inside your car, but I love it. That livery in the helmet was great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take care. Right, let's bring in who. Dylan Gonaz is there as well. We're going to interview Dylan. He's in second place. Welcome in, Dylan. I hope you're well.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Oh, still on this side of the dirt anyway, friend.
Man, at the end of the day, you kept it on track, and that's all that matters at the moment, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know, come through the order, picking up 2 places, picking up $30 for your trouble at the same time. Tough though. You had that battle with Darren, didn't you? It was getting tough towards the end until Darren unfortunately made that mistake.
Oh, I was super grateful. He was hunting me down. I haven't ran these cars since the update, so at practice I was like, I don't know. But was surprised at the positions I gained, and then I was hoping to hold them. And yeah, Darren was really hunting me down, so when he went off there, I was like, whew, and relax a little bit.
You can. You manage to sit back and just chill out. But overall, you know, not a bad race to start off this series, really.
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for you guys, and thanks for the hosts and putting this thing on. It was good fun. You guys do an amazing job. I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast.
Well,
And enjoy it. With your golf livery as well, too, for your number 6 car there, representing Canada, with Adam finishing in P7.
That $30 American will be like $600 Canada. So.
No, the US currency, my friend, these days not the powerhouse it used to be, but it'd be right.
So no new graphics card for me, I guess. Then, eh?
No, not yet. No, you got to save up a little bit more for a 3070 or a 90 or whatever they are these days. But yeah,
we just need more of these races. Yeah, we just need more of these races. Then, yeah.
But that's what we said, mate. You tell your friends, get everybody involved. It would be absolutely amazing. So anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before you leave the booth?
Oh, for sure. The IGLeague guys for putting this on. It was amazing. It was fun. You know, next time we'll get a better turnout, you know, spread the word around. And, you know, these guys seem like pretty good. Like, obviously Daniel was out of our league, but, the rest of the top 5 were pretty evenly matched for pace and with some good racing and stuff. So, yeah, good on it. Cheers for better things to come and more good times.
Okay, man. Well, you take care, and we'll look forward to speaking to you shortly, no doubt.
Cheers, fellas.
Take care. Right, and the final interview this evening is, you're going to have to give me your name because your Discord name doesn't match your race name.
Yeah, this is Darren Rutherford.
Oh,
all right, it's Darren. Yeah, they're calling out for you in the chat there, Darren. So it's good to hear for you, your P3 there. The only solo Lamborghini, my friend. How was your race? It comes up towards the end there.
Yeah, it was a good race. You know, I felt like I had some decent pace throughout. P1 kind of ran away, so I knew the battle there was going to be for P2.
Okay, it was for P2. You were there. What happened down in the chicane?
Yeah, well, I was back about a second and a half from him for a few laps there. I think it was Dylan, and I was pushing real hard and caught up to him, and I was thinking 2 corners ahead, and just kind of overcooked it a little bit there.
Yeah, it was you actually had the gap down at that moment that you hit that brake and your car went round. It was down to 6/10 as well. So you were absolutely flying at one point on that second part of it. You know, we were talking about pit stop strategies, what you would and wouldn't do in this. Would you undercut, overcut? Did you really think about that, or was you just go until you ran out of fuel and then thought, right, I need to go in?
Yeah, this race, I mean, I was just kind of riding it out, just until I ran out of fuel. You know, I was kind of wondering, with all the recent changes to the GT3s, if, maybe tires needed to be taken. But, it turns out, 45 minutes, you can make it no problem.
What was that final insurge that you did towards the end there? Because you just picked up the pace big time. You're following back for give or take, could be 1.5 seconds, stuff like that for a long time. And you're like, oh, well, wait, there's an 8th gear in this car or something. You just picked up it and just really zoomed in towards Dylan at the end. What was that motivation or pace there to make that happen?
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew I was running out of time in the race, and I wanted to at least catch him and hopefully have a nice little battle there on the last couple of laps. So, yeah, I don't really know where it came from. I just put my head down and started trucking.
So you do that at the start of the race next time, mate. You should be right up the lead there with battling it out with Daniel, or maybe on a 30-second cap on lead on Daniel. But that's good to see you got more comfortable towards the car at the end. And yeah, it's a tiny moment, but you had a big enough gap there to secure that P3 and get some cash in your pocket. And once again, you're surrounded by a BMW scenario. So you represented the Lamborghini. Fantastic job to fit P3.
Yeah, I love the Lambo, and shout out. I had a couple of teammates in that race as well. To Valhalla Motorsports, we had Matthew Wyckoff and we had Adam there. I think they finished P7 and P8 in the Ferrari. Brought the cars home.
Yeah, they definitely did do that as well. I was just about to ask you, is there anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening? Is there anybody else you want to shout out before you go?
Yeah, just a shout out to the Valhalla Motorsports, my teammates, and I had a couple of brothers and my pops watching, so shout out to them if they're still watching as well.
Oh, that was the fan club that was selling out the grandstand here. I saw that. Okay, that's good to see. Fan boost. That's what it was, I think, towards the end, isn't it? There.
MB Hope 23, the Gandhi of racing, inspirational quotes and life lessons all over the place. The best day ever, he's put in chat. So I think,
nice.
And they were calling to speak to you, Darren. So I guess that must be one of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to have people watching, and definitely shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast, and shout out to the league for throwing this up today.
Awesome stuff. Well, you take care, buddy, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon, no doubt.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Well, there you go. That was the top 3. They all seem upbeat about what gone on, and seem happy with how the racing went and everything else. What do we think going forward? It's that the event itself is only going to grow at the end of the day, and I think that's one thing that people have got to look out for, haven't they? And if you do want to get involved, guys, please come along, and the links are in the YouTube video where you can join us as well, Biggles. And maybe next time, the terminology, we literally will see them on track.
It's the benchmark now. You kind of have an idea of people's pace, and you have an idea of people's racing craft after you follow them around 45 or so minutes in a race. So they get an idea on their strategies and stuff like that. So now you've got a benchmark going into next races, because we'll have extra drivers and more drivers coming into the next event. So they're going to have some extra surprises to throw into the mix. But we love surprises up here in the casting box, don't we there, James? And we're going to see more of it here at the IGL Racing League.
Absolutely, guys. Well, that is it. That's going to round off tonight's broadcast here this evening. A massive shout out to everybody that's been in chat as well. Definitely, thank you so much, Dan Redcoat, for jumping in at the end. Scruff 4 as well. Hydra, MB Hoop, much appreciated for joining us as well. Conway keeping us honest all the way through. There, Ray Samari, much appreciated. Griff, you were welcome. Much love to you. Aaron Smith as well. Hydra in Twitch chat as well, kicking off over there as well. So much love to you all. So don't forget, guys, as well, if you are watching on Twitch, please follow. That would be absolutely amazing. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, give the video a big old thumbs up as well. That would be absolutely incredible. But that is it for tonight's first GT3 IGLeague Cash Cup. Look out for announcements to get involved with the next one. You can hit them up over on Twitter as well. But guys, from myself and Dean Biggles, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.